studying the armor of God. We last Sunday looked at verse 18 about prayer and how important that is. And so before we leave that discussion, we want to make sure that we understand how important this is. You say, well, if God has given and provided this armor, why do I struggle? Why do I have defeat in my life? Why do I have challenges? Why doesn't this armor automatically take care of everything in my life? We're going to look at that today. Some of us might feel armor. Wow, remember the story of David? When David came, visited his brothers and saw Goliath up there and said, why is this man mocking the living God, and why won't someone stand against him? And David volunteers, and no one else would, so they try to get David this armor. Well, it's a man's soldier's armor. He's a boy. I can't use this. I'm used to it. I'm not fit for it. Some of us feel like that when they talk about God's armor. I don't really want to aspire to do spiritual battle and all of these things. I remind you, David, later on, he did grow into armor and use that. And you and I are commanded to use this armor. Some of us might feel like, well, I'm doing pretty well as I am. I don't really want to get involved in a lot of spiritual battle. This morning in the 9 o'clock class, John did a great job again talking about, why is it that in other countries sometimes they kind of see more God work in more active ways, and maybe they talk about miracles and all kinds of things. Well, I've been told by lots of missionaries, and I've experienced myself going to Africa and other places, that these spiritual warfare is probably more out in the open in some of these countries, where there is a battle for power. And people literally say, I will follow and worship whoever demonstrates the most power. Is that God or is that Satan? And that's represented very plainly. I mean, you drive down the highway to Bible College, you've got the sign advertising witch doctors and services, and it's very out in the open and plain. Here in the United States, it isn't that Satan doesn't work. Oh, he's hard at work. But he works in a different way. It appears that it is not to his benefit to be so visibly out in the open and have this visible spiritual warfare, because it would scare some of us out of our lethargy. And so he hinders us and really doesn't want us to know about it. Sometimes we see a brand new person come to faith in Christ, and God has rescued them out of some things, some darkness in their life, some bad habits, and changed their life. And they are on fire. And they are just like a big bonfire burning, and they want to tell everybody about it. And too often, some of us older, been Christian for a while, say, well, yeah, that's the way you are when you're a brand new Christian. Give him time, and he'll settle down and become like the rest of us. Tragic expectation. So I think that Satan is not only about what I can defeat you in as a believer here, in our churches, in our culture, but it's also, I just want to hinder. Satan wants to hinder us from really being the dynamic ambassador for Christ, fisher of men, whatever he wants us to do, to represent him, and just keep the status quo, as John talked about in the 9 o'clock hour as well. And so I want to talk about the importance of using this spiritual armor. What does God want us to be and do for eternity? There's a lot of things we can spend a lot of time on in this life, but they're not the real priority. There is eternity. There are lives in the balance. Who is going to end up in heaven for eternity? Who's going to end up in hell? Do they understand the gospel? Do they understand that they need to put their faith in Christ? And so on. We talk about evaluation day. We will be evaluated as believers someday by Jesus Christ, our bridegroom, about how we live to serve him. Satan is very interested in hindering us in every way possible he can, so that we don't affect eternity any more than we have to. What does God want us to be doing in His kingdom? And how does Satan hinder us from that? So I want us to see this morning that possessing God's armor, spiritual armor, will not help us unless we learn to use it regularly. Now, we have read the list, Ephesians 6, 10 through 18. We are told to put on the armor of God, take up the whole armor, verse 13. Stand therefore, having girded your waist, and so on, shod your feet. And down the list, take the helmet of salvation, sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit. Being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. We looked at that last Sunday. God has provided this spiritual armor for us and commanded us to wear it and use it regularly. And we wouldn't be very encouraging if I take a show of hands. How many of us even think about this once a week? We think about it. We focus on putting this armor on, wearing it, appropriating it by faith, living according to this. And yet it's a command. Although God is ready to provide spiritual victory, He waits for us to ask Him for it. We saw that a little bit last Sunday. And God has commanded us to pray for spiritual victory in our life. And He answers our prayers according to His will. And He wants us to have spiritual victory. He wants to use us. He wants us to be ambassadors for Him. And so we need to be praying actively about that. For instance, we need to pray that God will give us opportunities to stand out, to be different now. That's not something that comes naturally to our flesh. We want to blend in. We want to be the same. We don't want to stick out at all. But God wants us to stick out and be a lamp for Him. A light on a hilltop, Jesus called it. And so we need to pray for ways to do that. We need to take a stand. We need to pray for opportunities to share the good news, to share the most important message in all of the world. And I hope and pray that we as a church, we're excited to go through the process of moving to a new building and so on. But more importantly, we as a church need to be the lighthouse that we ought to be. Corporately, yes, but individually. We are spread out at different workplaces, schools, neighborhoods, we have different friends, we have different family members, all people that need to be influenced for Jesus Christ and God's kingdom. And in order for us to be the person we need to be, we need to become serious about overcoming the hindrances that Satan puts in our way to keep us just like the status quo. Prayer can accomplish great things. James, turn with me to James, chapter 5, end of the book of James. We'll look at an illustration there. James chapter 5. I'm going to start reading verse 13 to get the context there. Is anyone among you suffering? Let him pray. Is anyone cheerful? Let him sing psalms. Is anyone among you sick? Let him call for the elder church and let them pray over, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of faith will save the sick, the Lord will raise him up. Now, I want to focus here. And if he has committed sins, he will be forgiven. Confess your trespasses to one another, pray for one another, that you may be healed. The effective, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. Well, many of us read that and say, oh, okay, well, there's the problem. I'm not righteous enough. That my prayers would really affect much. That my prayers would, that God would use me would really answer. That's why James continues and says, brings up a biblical illustration, verse 17. Elijah was a man with a nature like ours. Not a perfect person. We have righteousness from God. Our standing is righteousness from God. Not that we are perfect. Elijah wasn't perfect. The Bible tells us about Elijah's weaknesses and so on. Elijah was a man with a nature like ours. And he prayed earnestly that it would not rain. And it did not rain on the land for 3 years and 6 months. Elijah prayed that it would not rain. didn't rain for 3.5 years.
And he prayed again, verse 18, and heaven gave rain, and the earth produced its fruit. Well, of course, that story comes from 1 Kings 18, and we don't have time to turn and read the whole story, but I want to highlight some things. James says we ought to use Elijah as an encouragement, as a model for prayer. What did Elijah pray? 1 Kings 18:1, and it came to pass that after many days, the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the third year, saying, Go, present yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain on the earth. Now, of course, we know the story. Ahab was looking for Elijah, and he wants to take his life. Okay? When Ahab finally sees Elijah in this chapter, he calls him, You are the troubler of Israel. All right, we prayed and rain for 3.5 years, and we're all suffering. You are our problem. We need to deal with. Elijah hears from God. God wants it to rain. God then answers Elijah's prayers. As we read on in the chapter, Elijah takes the opportunity to set up a contest on Mount Carmel. Verses 36 through 39. Came to pass at the time of the offering of evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham. What's preceded this? Built 2 altars, prophets of Baal, Israel has gone astray, they worship prophets of Baal. Jezebel, the wife of Ahab, is kind of pushing this and leading this Baal worship. And he sets up a contest and says, Call fire down from heaven, see if Baal can burn your sacrifice. And he encourages them all day long, and that didn't happen. So now Elijah comes near, Lord God of Abraham, and prays. Isaac and Israel. Jacob, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and I am your servant. And that I have done all these things at your word. Hear me, O Lord. Hear me that this people may know that you are the Lord God, and that you have turned their hearts back to you again. Elijah's praying for the nation to turn their heart back to God and wants this contest to help that do that great thing. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and it licked the water that was in the trench. Now when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. Elijah prays for God to send such a supernatural demonstration that the people could no longer deny who was really God. And God did it. God answered Elijah's prayer. Elijah with a nature just like us. Now, you don't really need to set up an idol on the hilltop. You don't need to have fire from heaven and burn up water and stone and dust and everything that is not combustible. What we need to pray is, God, demonstrate your power through me. I am willing to be your ambassador. I am willing to be your voice, tangible, your love. God wants to love the lost world through us. And we need to be that same undeniable strength. People ought to look at your life and not say, well, you know, guys, maybe extra disciplined, extra strong, something, had a good upbringing, whatever, you know, that's why he is the way he is. She is the way she is. They need to look at our life and see supernatural power. Not ours, God's. To say something is so different about that person. I mean, a common person cannot love like that. A common person cannot have peace like that. Philippians, peace beyond all understanding in the struggle, in the case of trial. That's why God, one of the reasons God loves us to go through trials, so that His supernatural power will show. We need to be that demonstration of God's power, but I guarantee you Satan is all against that. And he will do whatever it takes to keep that from happening. So, God answers Elijah's prayer and brings down fire and demonstrates and turns the heart of the nation to worship Him. And God would, we need that in our culture. Our sick culture needs for us. They need to see a supernatural demonstration of God's power. And it's going to be you, and it's going to be me. That's how God chooses to work these days. So Elijah notices, is so sure it's going to rain yet that day, that he actually tells King Ahab. Elijah said to King Ahab, go up, eat and drink, for there is the sound of the abundance of rain. God has revealed to him, not making it up, God has revealed to him, it is going to rain today. And of course, now that the people have turned, God is going to bless. But, as we read on in this story, Abraham just doesn't go home and wait for it to rain. God does not send any rain until Elijah travails in prayer for God to do it. Verse 42 through 45. So Ahab went up to eat and drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Mount Carmel, where this great contest had taken place. And he bowed down to the ground, and he put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, go up now and look toward the sea. So he went up and looked and said, there's nothing. 7 times he said, go again. Each time the man came back and said, there's nothing. Then it came to pass the 7th time he said, there is a little cloud, small as a man's hand, rising out of the sea. So Elijah said, go, say to Ahab, prepare your chariot, go down before the rain stops you. Now it happened in the meantime that the sky became black with clouds and wind. There was a heavy rain, so Ahab rode away and went to Jezreel. God promised rain. Elijah knows that's God's will, but it doesn't happen until Elijah prays persistently. I grew up on a farm. We prayed for rain in summer, okay? I don't know if we prayed 7 times in the same day. This is persistent prayer. Dr. Tony Evans, writing about this passage, says, God said it would rain. Elijah prayed about what God had already said. Elijah didn't make stuff up and attribute it to God. What God had said that it would rain did not come to pass until after Elijah had prayed. Even though God had already declared it in the heavenly realm, not a single raindrop hit the earth until it got called down by Elijah on the earth. In other words, prayer called down what God had already intended to do. But what God had already intended to do did not happen until prayer drew it down. Elijah's prayer didn't make God do something he hadn't intended to do, but it did reach into heaven, grab and draw down what God had already told Elijah he would do. Another thing to notice, Tony continues, about Elijah's prayer is the form in which he prayed. We read that he crouched down on the earth and put his face between his knees. Now that may not mean much to you and me reading it in the 21st century, but it meant something very powerful in the time period and culture in which Elijah lived. When a woman gave birth in Elijah's day, she didn't have the luxury of modern hospital beds. What she would do often is position herself by crouching down and placing her face between her knees. This put her in a position of travail. In doing so, she wasn't creating the life of the child within her. She was simply providing the best possible avenue for the life that already existed to be brought into its new realm. Elijah didn't merely bow his head, close his eyes, come him, and ask for rain. Scripture tells us that Elijah positioned himself in a position of travail. Prayer is the work done in faith that accesses all that God has only planned to do. It's earthly participation in heavenly delivery. And as we see from Elijah, who has been given to us in the book of James as an example of effective prayer can involve travailing. One of our models for prayer is Elijah, and God
answered that prayer in
dramatic ways that the people of Israel, though they wanted to, could not deny was the God of heaven. And yet God used Elijah's prayer to bring about his will. Ephesians 6:18, which we looked at last Sunday, tells us that there is a very necessary part for victory in our lives, in appropriating the spiritual victory we need. Always praying, always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end, with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. Dr. Warren Wiersbe, writing about this Ephesians passage, says, in one sense, the whole armor of God is a picture of Jesus Christ. And that's true. And he gives lots of references in this quote, which we're not going to look at, but all giving evidence of what he's saying, that Jesus is all of these and provides all these pieces of armor. Christ is the truth, John 14 says, and he is our righteousness and our peace. His faithfulness makes possible our faith. He is our salvation, and he is the Word of God. This means that when we trust in Christ, we receive the armor. Every believer has access to this armor. Paul told the Romans what to do with the armor. Romans 13, 11-14. Wake up, cast off sin, and put on the armor of light, Romans says. We do this by putting on the Lord Jesus Christ. By faith, put on the armor, and trust God for the victory. Once and for all, we have put on the armor at the moment of salvation. So, in many ways, we are protected from many things. But then he says this, but there must be a daily appropriation. There must be a daily focus on this truth in order for us to have victory. We must get into the habit of putting on our spiritual armor and living by faith and so on. We must appropriate these weapons of our spiritual warfare on a daily basis. We might say, well, that sounds like that would just become a habit, just the same repetition, just, all the time focusing on this. One writer says, well, why do you put any clothing on in the morning? Isn't it very repetitious? Don't you wear basically the same thing every day? Yeah, no, do that. Don't go out naked and become embarrassed. Well, guess what? There's a lot more at stake in using and wearing God's armor than just embarrassment. And we as believers need to be we need to be reminded of that. At the very least, you say, well, something happens, crisis in my life. At the very least, we need to focus on putting on Jesus Christ, who gives us all this armor, who gives us the victory. So, we need to be reminded that satanic forces cannot harm us unless they are given permission. That's the fact of us having the armor once we put our faith in Jesus Christ. You are no longer, you and I are no longer captives of Satan. We don't have to succumb to his target, to his fiery arrows, as Ephesians says it, and his attacks, whatever. We don't have to live defeated lives. We can have victory. It is ours. The battle's already been won. But we need to use it because Satan can attack us if he's given permission. If it were not for supernatural protection provided by God, Satan would torture and kill every one of us. That is really, he's destructive. He's out to destroy everything God created beautifully. You can talk about marriage, you can talk about the physical part of marriage, sex, you can talk about the beautiful world, everything, relationships, family unity. Satan is out to destroy everything that God created beautifully. And that's you. And that's me. Way too many people take their own life because they listen to Satan's suggestions that they are nothing. They are nobody. Job, the story of Job tells us about God's protection. Job 2:6, the Lord said to Satan, behold, he is in your hand, but spare his life. Now, if you read the whole story, God says, have you seen my servant Job, and how committed he is to me? Of course, Satan says, well, you're protecting. I mean, you stop protection, he'll turn from you. God took that challenge.
You and I, by the way, Job doesn't ever know until God probably he got to heaven, or God inspires this word of God. Job never knows what the contest is all about. But God gives Satan a certain amount of permission. You can touch him, his health, and so on, family, his wealth, but not his life. You and I know that if God said you can do anything you want, wow, Satan would have taken Job's life just like he did family. Job's family. So God is protecting us. You say, well, I don't really know anything about spiritual warfare. God is protecting you every day. Whether you know it or not. Because Satan would do a lot more. He would torture and kill every one of us if he had the opportunity. Now, God still protects Job's life. During Job's lifetime, or time of suffering, Job remains faithful to God. He never focuses on Satan and never really turns from his faith to God. He continues to trust God in spite of all that's continuing in his life. It's a great model for us to follow. When God does allow our enemies to spiritually attack us, He is using it for good. He's using it in our lives for refinement, for spiritual growth. James 1, 2 through 4. My brethren, count it all joy when we fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. You say, God allows some of these fiery arrows to touch me. He allows some things to happen in my life. I lose loved ones unexpectedly, and lose jobs, and down the list we go. Why does God allow any of that? I thought He was supposed to be protecting us. Of course, in our culture, unfortunately, we worship comfort. We want to be as comfortable as possible. And if God doesn't keep me as comfortable as I think He should, then maybe God had something wrong with God, because that's our little box, our view of God, right? What He's supposed to do. He's supposed to do what I want Him to do. No, God is interested in growing us. We all know we grow most during times of challenge, don't we? So, God wants to redeem us from our sinful fleshly ways and make us into a trophy of His grace. The only way that you and I are going to shine brightly, different than the people around us, and show God's supernatural power is if we go through difficulties and people can observe we act differently. Mark Hubeck, writing, says, but what if God's purpose, we must ask? That God sometimes lets Satan afflict believers despite the shield of faith, and the rest of the armor is obvious both in the Word of God and in life. What is God's purpose, and what happens to Satan's missiles? Fiery darts. As Satan's fiery darts penetrate the shield of faith, if in God's sovereignty He allows them to do so, they cease to be Satan's flaming missiles. Rather, they become refining and purifying messengers of God's love. Fire can destroy, yes, but fire can refine. And here, I think knowledgeable about gold. 1 Corinthians 3, 10 to 15 talk about us living our life in such a way that on evaluation day, we present gold, silver, precious stones, rather than wood, hay, stone, things that are not. How does gold get refined? Well, the goldsmith heats the gold to a tremendous temperature, so that the impurities all float to the surface and he can skim them off. How does he know when it's pure? When he looks into the gold and sees a reflection of himself. God is interested in looking at your life and mine and seeing a reflection of Himself. And in order to purify us, He does allow things into our life that challenge us and make us depend on Him more and make us trust Him more. Now, we don't like that. We say, well, I don't know. God like that, I want God to keep me comfortable. Adam Robinson tells a story, the illustration of when you take a child to the doctor or sick, and they need an injection, they need a shot. Well, you've probably experienced this. That little child sees that needle and they look at you, the parent, with a horrified look. How dare you? I thought you loved me. How dare you let this
Evil nurse, come here with that sharp needle.
You've
Probably experienced that.
Well,
Well,
the
the
parent
parent
tries to assure the child that this is for their good. This is going to, heal their sickness. This is going to help them. And so, just like that, God allows things, sharp things, difficult things in our life to help us. And we need to trust Him, just like a child needs to trust their parent. God may allow us to experience pain for our own good, but He will enable us to heal and be a better person as a result of that pain. And by the way, even though we say, well, God didn't shield me from this, that, and this pain, and that challenge, and that loss, He still wants us to be victorious through it. The armor, He wants us to use the armor of God to be victorious through it and to have His peace that passes all understanding, and so on. God wants us to be willing and to be happy exhibits of His supernatural power and grace, a trophy of His grace. Ask yourself a question. Do the people that know you, live with you, work with you, go to school with you, communicate with you, do those people see you, see God's supernatural power in your life? Or do they just credit you to, well, she's just a good person, she's just a great person? Most of the time, we are spiritually attacked and live in defeat because we're not faithfully using our spiritual armor. Now, Satan has been defeated by Jesus Christ. He is no longer, it's sort of, get the picture of a lion, read last Sunday. The passage of Satan's roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. His fangs have been removed. As far as we as believers are concerned, we're protected from him. But many times, we give him permission to attack us. He roars, and we get afraid, maybe, and because we're not wearing our spiritual armor, because we're not standing firm, because we're not resisting him, like James tells us in James 4, because we're not resisting him, we give him permission. We say, okay, I understand what you're saying, I too will think your way, and so on. We end up running, leaving our armor there, and we run to try to get away, and we leave the protection that God has provided for us. It's like staying beneath an umbrella. If you trust the umbrella to keep you dry, you need to stay underneath it. If you throw the umbrella on the ground, leave it behind and run, you're going to get wet. And that's just a good illustration. My daughter, Steve, used to have a horse out in our acreage. And we have a little shed for this horse. Go in under the roof. Food was and so on. But it was interesting to watch, and I was concerned when it did hail. And he'd start out inside the shed. But my guess is, I asked anybody who didn't tell me, my guess is that the noise on the roof, the hail, scared him, like that. And so rather than stay under the protection of the shed roof with hail, he would leave the shed and just run as fast as he could back and forth in the field in hail. Well, you and I do that, unfortunately. We have the armor of God. We are told to stand strong and firm and have the victory. And yet Satan wants to coax us out from using that armor. Comes along and says, you don't really need that. Like you didn't garden beaten to Eve. You're missing out on something. Let me tell you something. I'm your friend here. I'm trying to help you here. No, he's not. And he coaxes us that we don't really need the armor of God. We don't need to stand strong against him. The satanic forces want us to believe that we are victims and that we don't have any choice but to live defeated lives. And this is just your lot in life, and you're just going to struggle with this for the rest of your life, whatever. He convinces us not to use the armor of God. But we must remember that God will give us the victory if we obey him in faith. That's what he's promised. Dr. Tony Evans says Jesus Christ has already defeated Satan once and for all. Satan can no longer overcome us with his power. If Satan defeats us at all, he must do so with permission that has been given to him. This is the truth that Satan does not want us to know or own. Because once we walk in this truth, we will treat him, Satan, differently. We'll look at him differently. And we'll respond to him differently. Oh, how important it is for us to wear this armor. Focus on it. Yeah, we got to remind ourselves. We want to be victorious for Jesus Christ. If we want to be different than the world around us, if we want to make a difference for him, we need to take this seriously. Possessing God's spiritual armor will not help us unless we learn to use it regularly. You ever wondered what it would be like to be attacked by a lion? Well, I wonder that. Mountain lions around. Where I live, been spotted not too far away. We're going to share an idea about Africa. Yeah. People can tell you about being attacked. People who are attacked by lions. Wouldn't it be nice, as I imagine, if I was attacked by lions, wouldn't it be nice to have a full and close suit of armor? So that the lions couldn't really touch me. I mean, they'd try all they want, they just couldn't do anything. Well, if you were out in the jungle with lions, and I gave you such a suit of armor, no, this is hot, this is heavy. I don't think I really need this, and so you choose not to wear it. If you were given such a suit of armor, but you didn't wear it when you went in the lions, that suit of armor would not do you any good. Well, on your tombstone, someone will write that you died being attacked by lions. But you did keep your armor spotlessly clean and well-maintained. And in reserve for the time when you decided you would really need it. Oh, that's sadly true of some of us. Father, thank you for giving us this armor, but Father, you tell us it's not automatic protection. We need to wear it. We need to gird ourselves. We need to put it on. We need to yield toward the Spirit. We need to get used to this armor. We need to focus on it. Much more than we do. For yes, you want to do great things through us. You want to make a difference in this world through my life, through the life of each believer here. But that will only happen if we cooperate, if we pray, if we allow ourselves to be used of you, if we put on the spiritual armor so that not only can we be protected from bad things, evil things, things that Satan wants to do to us, but that we can wield the sword of the Spirit, and we can offensively accomplish what it is you have for us to do in our life. And how you want to use us in a supernatural way, so that we can be a supernatural representative of you. Father, we need to focus on spiritual victory, not just go along with status quo, be like everyone else. So Father, I pray that you would give us wisdom and discernment, and give us vision, and give us discipline to focus on being spiritually victorious for you in Jesus' name.